Snap. What I've actually done a lot of work on Snap. Just coincidentally, I've written papers on it. I've done economic analysis on Snap. I mean, it works as a subsidy for farmers. It drives prices up. There's studies here back and forth, like the recipients of SNAP or those who are the eligible participants of SNAP. They use it to kind of get away from food scarcity, so they can elevate themselves from that poverty level. Because I mean, food's expensive and food's a necessity. It's the one thing that you're going to be worrying about the most. And there's studies on, well, if I'm not so stressed about buying food, I can be more so in tune with looking into the job market, focusing on my job, et cetera, et cetera. Another point being, like, well, Snap.
Yo,
what is going on, world? We are back with another episode of the Crybaby Podcast, baby.
Crybaby Podcast is back.
Yep.
We're
better than ever. We're hyped up.
Dude, I'm so hyped for this episode. I'm actually so fucking hyped. I sent you a text the other day. I was hammered. I'm like, guys, we can't let this podcast die.
No, I think that was like on Saturday or Friday or something. Yeah. Randomly, Dor never texts me. He never texts me, and randomly he's like, "We can't let the podcast die."
I know.
I'm like, I don't intend on it dying. We've just been busy.
It's all we've been seriously busy. School's been ramping up. Also, like, work has kind of been ramping up a little bit. But that's kind of like a cop-out excuse. I don't know. But also traveling a lot. Again, I mean, we've been everywhere, but I was hammered and I'm like, man, this is going down the road of like destruction, and for everybody forgetting about it, and it can't die.
No, it can't. It's just sometimes, shit happens. Life comes around. You forget about things, and sometimes you just got to make time for it. So here we are, making time for it again. It would have been awesome if we had gotten an in-person podcast. We were in Arkansas. I know you were talking about that. But figuring out the logistics of that and
so they don't know. They don't know about Arkansas.
Okay,
the viewers don't know.
Yeah, past 3 weeks has been very busy. I don't even. The last podcast we did, what did we talk about?
Soybean prices.
And Sora?
Because Sora was just released. That's crazy.
Fantasy, Drake May contender.
Drake May has been balling the fuck out.
Government still shut down. So
the government is still shut down.
And it's still shut down. This was Tuesday, October 7th. October 9th was supposed to be the release date for that one. Did you get that one released?
No, because I needed to make a thumbnail, and I was like, God damn it! And
okay, well,
it was late. But this is going to be released on the 30th, the day before Halloween. We've got for people that are listening and they aren't watching, we've got the costumes on. Not really costumes. This is my actual fit that I wear around every day. But
every day,
I'm a referee here to call flags, I'm calling it straight today.
Call flags. You're calling flags. Yeah, the whistle.
And then what are you?
This is the Mustangs, number 30. I don't know what it says. 35, I think.
The Mustangs.
The Mustangs. This is my dad's high school football get up. I got everything on, It's I've actually never worn a football uniform in my life. I was a big rugby player in high school. Rugby and soccer were my things, not football. So it was cool. It was snug getting this thing on, packing a lot down here, but hey, it shows off the glutes, it shows off the legs. It's cool. It's a cool little fit. We're thinking about going to a Halloween costume party on Friday. Halloween is not my holiday. It is not my thing. It's not my celebration. Somehow I just get wrapped into it, though. At the end of the day, I just look in my closet. What can I make? What can I put together? And because of my spontaneous personality, I've always got some random shit lying around. Doran had a costume of mine, but he's wearing the costume he's worn for the past 3 years.
Yeah, it's bad. I ordered
reflection of his character and his motivation to really impress people, right?
Yeah, and I mean you wearing your dad's jersey from high school.
No, really, it's nice. I care about my family lineage. Okay. I care about what my dad did in high school. We were both high school superstars.
I don't know, man. I think Carlos has you lapped. Might
He
be.
might. He might
Mm.
actually have me lapped. I've seen his prom pictures and they're actually insane.
Well, so I think Halloween is an S tier holiday, man. I think. I mean, you get to dress up, you get to go out, get like you have an excuse to get obliterated, basically, to throw a party, and like it's not. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Like Thanksgiving. Hey, I'm with the family. I'm. It's basically a job interview. I'm over here like talking to my fucking grandpa about the job search and school and this and that. Christmas, you have to get a bunch of shitload of gifts for people you don't really care about, and they're not really even going to care about these random gifts that you give them. They're just going to return them. They really just want cash. It's just it's a whole scam. But Halloween, it's still pure. It's still like, hey man, we're just going to get dressed up. We're going to get hammered for Oliver. It's fun for the little ones too. They could get dressed up. They love my little one's getting dressed up as a Ninja Turtle, so it's going to be sick. He's a Mikey. And so they get candy. The adults get an excuse to, check out of the weekend and get hammered. I mean, fucking say less, bro. I I love Halloween's probably.
I mean, Halloween growing up, I loved it. I wanted to dress up as, a clone trooper.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember dressing up
Darth
like
Vader. Yeah.
yeah, Darth Vader. I had everything. I had all the Star Wars stuff, and then eventually it kind of transformed into I want to make my own costume, and it was
The
just a get.
Joker.
It was just a no. We're still talking about my childhood. It was still a just like a. It was a random mashup or something I could think of when I was a kid. I think it was like Firework Ninja, and the whole idea was I have a bunch of fireworks on my belt, but I'm a ninja at the same time. Um, so I ended up
Did
it
it
was
work?
really piss poor, but I thought it was cool, and in my head it looked
But
cool. But
points for
yeah,
creativity.
yeah, right. And then the Joker stuff. I've been Joker for the I've been Joker for the past 3 years, uh, and because my ex girlfriend loved the cosmetic stuff, and so she would paint my face, do the hair, everything, and it
Well,
was
so
great.
there's one picture of this guy, like out at on Northgate, right?
Can you
And
like
he
pull
is
it
like
up?
fully. Yeah, I might just put it on the screen. But like,
But you got to pull up the one with me and my ex because that one looks good when she's Poison
no, I
Ivy.
don't. I don't think that one is. I don't even know what that one looks like. I just know the one picture with
Okay, well
Oliver.
it's good, but
Yeah,
because if you're gonna do me dirty, you might as well throw a good one
I
on there.
mean it's a. I mean you went crazy on the costume. But anyway, so he went crazy on the costume and he went all out 110% Joker. And like he's in the picture and Oliver's in the picture too. And Oliver spent like 5 minutes doing his like, like, oh man, I'll throw whatever on. And and this dude is like fully dripped out in Joker merch. Like and the picture is just hilarious. And the bar is empty, nobody's there. It's hilarious. It's a funny picture. But
Yeah, I was at Icon. It was good, but yeah, Halloween. It's great. I never really care for it though. It's like you said, you don't take it too seriously. It's a good way to just
yeah.
kind of kick back and relax. You make a good point there. Um, but anyways, what are we getting into today, Dorn?
Oh yeah, no. Well, so we need to do a little bit of catching up, right? Because it's been a while since crybabies have been assembled, and so a lot has happened in that time. Uh, Basically, A&M, well, Texas A&M University. For people that don't know, I went there.
Who doesn't know?
Amadeo's going there currently. They've been absolutely rolling in the college football rankings, man. They've been going nuts.
This is a
Marcel Reed.
different football team.
Yeah, no, he's literally a different QB. This guy does not fucking play around. They went to Arkansas. It was actually a super fun game. We actually went up that weekend and went and watched the game, and it was electric, bro. There was a dude in front of us who was absolutely like piss poor drunk the entire time,
Sloshed.
but
It was
in the best possible way.
we had a really old Arkansas guy, and next to him was like the exact equivalent of him, just as old A&M fan though.
Yeah.
He this guy works at Lockheed Martin, right? and he's over here talking about how he kissed like an 18-year-old at a music
No.
concert, and it was just great. It was a great all around experience.
Yeah.
And we had some pretty good seats where we could see everything, and they're just going back and forth, A&M and Arkansas. We're over here. We get to the game. I was on the verge of blacking out before the game. I took a little nap on the way over in the bus. Getting to the game was funny. It was a weird experience. But we get there, get our seats. No, those aren't even our seats. We're just talking to these guys, and they just let us sit in front of them. And we're just it's good football. It was good football, back and forth. Both defenses sucked. That's the thing that A&M kind of fell short on, because usually this season they're renowned for their defense.
Yeah, their defense is cold.
Their shutdown, third down conversions, just crazy. But Arkansas got off. They got off to a great start. Their quarterback looked good. Just going back and forth. Marcel Reed looked good. The Aggies' offense would just constantly return fire. They would not go unanswered. But Dorn was like, we're all like blasted, and we're thinking it's going to be a shutout. And each time we're like, all right, next time they score, we're leaving. Yeah. We're going back to the bars. But then they would score, and then Arkansas would score. So we're just stuck there pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was like super back and forth, because, I mean, I feel like there's a point where, like, in these shitty games where it's like, I mean, not shitty games, but like, I mean, Arkansas is unranked. You know, their head coach left. Bobby Petrino's there. Like, it's kind of like a disaster, like a dumpster fire right now. So, like, you expected it to be, you know, an A&M, you know, high ranked pretty high, you know, on a tear. So, you know, expect it to be a little blowout. But now they go in and they put up a good fight. And so I was like, man, once they start rolling here and put like 2 touchdowns ahead of them, then let's get the fuck out of here. But like, dude, it was just back and forth, and we ended up staying for the entire thing.
We stayed for the entire game. It was a great game. Yeah, and then of course everyone around us was pretty rowdy. Arkansas fans, good people. I think it was all good vibes. I don't know if it would have been different if they had won, but
yeah, it would have been.
It was definitely a good experience, as opposed to when I went to LSU over the weekend. I went to Baton Rouge, New Orleans. But we'll get into that when we get to that game.
How do we feel about Dixon? How do we feel about Dixon? So Dixon Street is the I guess this like the drinking area or the bar.
It's the bar. It's the bar street.
Yeah,
their bar strip. Yeah. So you know we've got Northgate. I don't know what Baton Rouge has. They have Fred's.
Tigerland.
I
think it might. Yeah.
Dixon Street. You know, Sixth Street.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what Dallas has. Someone said 2nd Street or something when I was.
Dallas is just a city, though. Dallas is. I mean, it's not really like.
It's not a college town.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's not a college town. But yeah, no, Dixon Street, the bar district. What was it? Tin Cup, where we went.
Tin Roof.
Electric.
Yes, I love Tin Roof.
That genuinely surprised me. Okay, so it's like this bar. For people that haven't been, it's this bar where you go in, and it's basically like 3 separate bars all like attached, and it's huge. They have like live music. Like they have an inside portion, an outside portion, an upstairs portion. They had some fucking like, you go downstairs, they're playing like slow country. You go outside, they're playing like classic rock. You go upstairs, they're playing Lil Baby. It's like an EDM mixes. It's like, what the fuck is this? I mean, this is great. I love this shit.
It was amazing. I love their bar scene. They've got a wide variety of different things. They've got the shot bars. Now, the shot bar was really cool. It's just called shots, I think. Oh, I got the hiccups. But you eat your shots in little ice cubes. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and explain that. I got to get rid of these hiccups.
No, yeah. Man, I mean, we just did we did a couple of passes, you know, but we went to the couple main bars. But one of the bars, it's a little shot bar where they have, you know, you take shots at a little, you know, ice shot cups, and then you smash them after. So it was a good little. I was like confused for a while, you know, like when they handed them to me, I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Like,
I was confused too when that first happened to me. He was talking like,
this is melting.
No, Matthew was like, we saw us throw him on the floor. He was like, what the fuck? We're gonna have to pay for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's confusing at first, but it was definitely fun. It's definitely something you don't see every day. It's just a lot of ice you're going through, a lot of water. Can we get like some income statements on that? Can we get the you
The
know
water bill, the sauce
the
bill.
inventory and the cost? We gotta figure that out.
Fucking dude, I loved Tin Roof, and we went there the second day, but then we went to what's the other bar? Hogzilla. What was the
Hogzilla.
what
Which one?
was
The one that was
the
outside? The one that we were at on during game day?
yeah, what is that?
That was
It says something with hogs.
no, it's something cowboy. I think it's just cowboys. I don't know. That
No,
one was
no,
cool too.
Yeehogs. Yeehogs. Yeah.
Yeehaw. It's just yeehaw.
No, it's Yeehogs. Like the hog.
Really?
Like, yeah, like Arkansas, like
Oh,
where
okay.
you
I
get
mean,
the
that would
hogs.
make sense, but I thought it was yeehaw.
I know it was something like with hogs in it. But yeah, Yeehogs. I don't know, like that was fun. It was cool. I think it was so packed. I don't know. I still think the rankings go. It was cool. It was fun. There's a certain point where one of our boys, Malachi, like a whole circle develops, a whole dance circle develops, and he goes in there and starts hitting the juke. He starts like sliming it out, and going crazy. And I'm like, man, this is great. Like, thank God you came, because like nobody would be doing this right now. Like Brad is like, I want to go in there so bad. Like, get me in there.
Bread, see,
Yeah.
look, normally me and Bread would go in there and turn up, but
Yeah. Okay.
Bread's having like a midlife crisis,
Yeah.
and I'm just trying to be nonchalant, and
Yeah.
then Dorian is over here talking to some bot about
Yeah.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
I walk up and the guy's like, "Have you ever heard of Andrew Tate?"
I'm like, bro, it was a respawn of Grant. It was like a Grant, like Grant despawned in San Antonio and like respawned in Arkansas. He was there. It
Yeah,
was funny just picking his brain, and just like, hey man, what do you think about? I don't know. It was a bot combo, but yeah, that place was cool. I'm still going Tin Roof. Tin Roof, man. It was a good
Tin Roof
scene there.
is up there for me. I think it's between Tin Roof and then Yeehaw, and then we didn't really go to any other bars. There's this one piano bar that I really like that I went last time, but that's like the new minor. It's where all the miners go, and so I don't know if you care about miners,
What
but
about the other place, the one with the pool tables? Place is okay.
oh, that place is also up there too. That one's a little chiller spot.
No, that one's
Um,
mid. I can't do it.
20
Also, the AC was
21st.
out.
It's like 21st or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is a little mid. I waited probably 20 minutes for drinks.
Mm,
Struck up some conversations at the same time, but it's game day. What do you expect? So
yeah. No, Arkansas was fun. Aggies rolled, and then LSU. I mean, obviously this weekend he went. He went. I stayed in town. I didn't go
yeah,
for this one.
yeah.
I
No,
went to
LSU was. I went to
Baton
New
Rouge.
Orleans. My because my cousin lives in New Orleans. He does ministry work over
He
there for the Catholic
does
Church.
what?
Yeah, yeah. He lives in New Orleans,
Did they
and
they
so
send him over there?
yeah, he's got a
Or
house over there. Lives with two other roommates. I think they're both in the same line of work. Funny story. His roommate actually. So his roommate was there with Nick Fuentes on January 6th, and his dad. Allegedly, this all happens, but supposedly Nick does mention this on the show a few times. Um, his roommate, his dad works from some sub intelligence agency, and he's there on January 6th with Nick Fuentes, and he's there like the entire time. He showed me some videos of him being with Nick,
Mhm.
and he gets a call from his dad, and his dad's like, "Get the fuck out of there! Go down this street because they're about to come in there and start arresting people." And so
Mhm.
then he tells Nick that they need to get the fuck out of there,
Mhm.
and Nick follows suit, and so that's why Nick is not sitting in jail right now. So I was like, small world, man. But
No.
no,
He would have gotten
New
pardoned
Orleans.
though.
What?
He would have gotten pardoned though.
He definitely probably would have gotten pardoned. Yeah, I mean, you pardon a guy like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was my thought too. I was like, yeah, he probably would have gotten pardoned. But
yeah.
um, and so yeah, that was my first time experiencing Bourbon Street. Bourbon Street it had its charm. And the charm was it was disgusting, but you can go in there have a good time. They had Pat O's. I loved Pat O's. Got me a hurricane. I got pretty sloshed. I'm not gonna lie. That I got really sloshed really fast. Hurricane and a grenade and probably a hand grenade and 2 beers, and I was done for. I definitely should not have drank that fast. But that was a great little experience. And so then the next day we go to Baton Rouge for the game. It's supposed to rain. It is raining a little bit. We get there around 3. Kickoff's at 6:30. And we're a little, we're a little timid. I mean, I go in there and I'm just like, I don't care. We get like an 18 pack of Michelob's on the way over there. Have a few roadies. No, we don't have any roadies. But I get there and I'm like, I'm ready to shotgun. Get out of the car, shotgun. Everyone else is. I'm there with like a bunch of people my age, but also like a year older or two, and so everyone is a little not super excited to get Sandy, right?
But I think they're. I mean, yeah, they're the same age, but they're also in a different stage of life.
And they are also in a
Yeah.
different stage of life as me, and so
Yeah.
I'm over here like I don't really care.
They're in the unk stage. Like, I mean, not unk stage, but a little more refined. We're a little more mature.
Right.
Yeah.
Not trying to fraternize.
Nelk. Not
Right.
not trying to nelk it out.
Right. And so, anyways, because supposedly the LSU fans are nasty. Supposedly they're nasty people. Supposedly have subpar intelligence. I don't know what it is over there. I mean, Louisiana, not a great state. A lot of poverty. Really low education. Not very literate people. No hate on anyone who's from Louisiana, but these are just the facts. And so we get to Baton Rouge. We kind of go around campus or around the stadium. Campus was really nice. I mean, the place is real historic, and Louisiana has a lot of culture and history. And that part I like. That's where Texas lacks. But anyways, we're there. I'm trying to shotgun with everybody that I see. Nobody wants to shotgun with me. I am probably seven shotguns deep, and only one person shotgunned with me. This one old dude, I tried to get him to shotgun, but he really just wanted to buy a beer off me for like $3. He didn't, and then we go to where all the frat tailgates are, all the Greek life tailgates are in student orgs, but it's probably mostly Greek life. And some 3 Aggie dudes shotgun with me, and they're at some fraternity tailgate, and it did not feel like an SEC tailgate. It was. I mean, part of me was like a little on the verge of blacking out, but at the same time, I could very well receive everything that was in front of me. A lot of the Greek life tailgates, they had this like construction tape all around their tents, and these tents were like the tents you bring to the beach. It just was like it was piss poor. It did not look cool or fun. But it was a fun time regardless. Then we ended up at a tailgate where we knew people, and then we get to the game. Game time, baby. Aggies are coming in.
I mean, the thing is, they have that party culture, but Greek life is a little bit like smaller. It's not as like, it's not like a Georgia. It's not like a Bama. Like even it's not like
I would think it is though. That's the thing.
But it's like the state of Louisiana. Like people just don't give a fuck. It's like we're just gonna drink and party and like. But like
that's already our culture.
Yeah, but we're not gonna like. I mean, setting up a whole tailgate, like that takes a long time. Like we would set up like days before. Like you have to, like, bro, sit the fuck back. Like in Louisiana, it's more chillax. Hey man, let's get hammered. Let's make a boil of some shit and let's have a good time. But like,
right.
I don't want to set up a 10 at fucking 7 in the morning the day before. Like, what are we doing?
That makes sense.
But the game was fun in Tigerland, Tiger Stadium.
Game was electric. Stadium was kind of a shithole. The way they had it laid out though is cool. You get where we were sitting. I still haven't paid this guy for tickets, but I just thought about that right now. And we're sitting at the very top deck. But we have a really cool view of the game. And so it's like you're sitting in the nosebleeds, but you can see everything. And it's interesting. You don't really get that perspective, especially at Kyle Field. Arkansas, comparing those two stadiums, I don't know. Anyways, And so we're sitting through the game. LSU fans are kind of giving us shit, but we're sitting with a lot of Aggies, and we're just having a good time. First half looked like it was going to be a game. It was going to be a pretty decent game. It might be a nail biter because they're going back and forth. I remember Marshall Reed throws that interception into the end zone. He threw 2 interceptions actually. And so, yeah, LSU defense and A&M defense were playing really good ball. But then, we are a second half or a third quarter team, as some would say. So halftime comes around, they come out, and just A&M just dogs on them. And at this point, third quarter comes around, LSU fans are emptying the stadium. They are emptying the stadium. This is unheard of. You don't go to Death Valley and their fans empty the stadium. If A&M is down 2 or 3 touchdowns, we're not all just going to leave the stadium. We are going to stay there. But these guys are gone. They are leaving
they don't give
masses.
a fuck. Yeah,
they are leaving in masses. And so we have friends sitting down at the first deck, and we're trying to get down there, and there's plenty of space. And so we get down there to the first deck during the third quarter, and we're just right there at the sideline. And we're looking around, and it is empty. It is empty. Only A&M fans are practically there.
Yeah.
And it's just a complete shutout. It's a complete shutout. It was awesome to witness. Stayed till the very end. Got to get in with my brothers and sisters.
Well, that's what I was listening to something, and they were saying, like, talking about Death Valley at LSU, and while it is one of the hardest places to play on the road, it can also be weaponized against the home team, like, sometimes. And if the fan base turns on you, which that isn't going to happen at Kyle Field, that isn't going to happen at Bama, but for some reason at Death Valley, like, either the fans don't give a fuck, or they're just, like, at the point where, I don't know, they've just lost total faith in this team, but they can weaponize, a home environment where you're supposed to have the advantage. They got it weaponized against them, literally. Everybody started leaving. The fucking coaches yelling at players on the sideline. I don't know if you saw those highlights, but, like, he's yelling at offensive coordinators, like, yelling at all these, like, staffers, and it's like, dude, you have to greenlight all these plays. Like, you're the head coach. I mean, I know that they're the coordinators and everything, but, like, dude, take some fucking responsibility. Like, I don't know, like, fucking Brian Kelly. But we'll get into Brian Kelly. But yeah,
no, Brian Kelly's there treating his entire staff like shit. Like they're just
I've always hated
some
Brian
desk
Kelly.
jockeys.
I fucking hated Brian Kelly. Like,
and no, we've heard a lot about Brian Kelly these past 4 years. How he's just he's not there for the culture. He's faking it all. Remember, he faked the accent and everything.
He's from the Northeast.
He's from the Northeast. He's
coached
there
at Notre Dame. He, like, fucked on his assistants there. Like, would treat him like shit. I don't know if you saw that tweet I sent in, but, like, God, the coach of Nebraska, I think is Matt, I don't know, something. But he was an assistant at the time under Brian Kelly. And Brian Kelly invited him and a bunch of other coordinators over to his house for, like, a ball, like a party or something. And, they expect to come in and they're like, hey, we're going to come in and socialize with all the other coaches and the coordinators or whatever. He's like, no, y'all are going to be outside working the cars and shoveling snow for cars, like, that are parking. Yeah. So they had these guys parking cars outside, shoveling snow, fucking, like, and then the quote from, I think it was Matt LaFleur. He's the Nebraska head coach, but he's like, ever since then, I've like, I swore to myself, I will never treat my coordinators like that ever again. And it's like, I mean, kind of a, power play. I don't know, a move or whatever. Maybe if it works, people wouldn't be questioning it. But dude, you're fucking losing and you're doing this. Like, what the hell? So yeah, he's a chotch. He was just not the right fit for LSU. Like, if you're gonna coach at LSU, you have to be a fucking, like, swamp monster. You know what I mean?
You do, yeah.
Like, you have to be all in on the culture. You have to be all in on the fucking, like, dude, this is one of the best, like, I know I'm supposed to hate LSU, but this is one of the best football positions in the sport. You know what I mean? And, like,
And the standard is a national
Yeah,
championship.
yeah. Basically, I mean, this is heart of SEC country. You know, oh, coach, if you get hired on to be a coach there, you are expected to win a national champion. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like you will be. And so Brian Kelly would just consistently make excuses, throw people under the bus, throw his coordinators under the bus, throw his players under the bus, and like apparently this fucking guy would like he wouldn't interact with people. He would come in, like he would see a player walking down the hallway and other coaches, hey man, how's it going? Blah blah this and that. Silence would just
Well, he would treat his injured players like shit. That's
yeah.
really
Well,
what it
like
was.
yeah, for example, like I forgot his name, but like a guy had like a season-ending injury, and like he was right before that, when he's recruiting him, dude, how's it going? Like what's up? Blah blah this and that. After ghosted after the season-ending injury, like.
And Brian Kelly reportedly just did nothing during the recruiting seasons. I mean,
Yeah, he would go to like
this is like peak time as a head coach where you're supposed to perform. You're
in
supposed to
college
get
football. Yeah,
you're supposed to get the best recruits in college football, and this guy's at a beach.
I know
And,
he's like in Cabo. Like
and something is to be said about how much they're paying these head coaches these days. It's
yeah,
because, I mean,
yeah,
you think about it like this. The standard is when you're a good head coach, you get paid quite a bit. And that's
yeah.
why we get like contract deals like with Jimbo or Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you get a lot of money. These head coaches go from making not very much to a lot. And so
Yeah,
they want to secure that lot. And so you're going to see a situation here with Mike Elko here pretty soon if things keep going the way they are, where Mike Elko is his agent's going to be like, well, hey, we could get a lot of money from A&M
yeah,
at this point. And so then the coach has to make a decision, a money decision, a business decision. And so you see people like Brian Kelly where that was literally a business decision with
yeah. It
LSU.
was a business decision. Like he knew what he was doing, and the thing is, like I don't know, like Brian Kelly did garner this sort of like blue chip like status as a coach, right? Like he coached at Notre Dame. He did like relatively well, and like these blue chip coaches, Lane Kiffin, Jimbo Fisher, like these Nick Saban, right? Like these proven, I don't know, not blue chip coaches, right? You can demand a premium, but the thing is, you could pay this premium for them, and then they end up literally destroying a program, and then you have to buy them out for tens of millions of dollars, and that's exactly what happened at LSU. That's what happened at A&M. Thank God we found somebody that was on the come up in Mike Elko, who's a little bit cheaper, and so we could afford it with the whole buyout structure. But like, I mean, going with these blue chip coaches, I don't know if we should be, I don't know, doing that a little bit. But it's good that LSU is imploding, as an Aggie fan, and so
Yeah,
they
it's
ended up
great. Great to
firing
see.
Brian Kelly. He was seen the next day at a Mexican restaurant in Baton Rouge, ordering queso and a margarita. So like, this guy is just a legend. Like he went to
Hey,
the.
me too, man. Me too.
I know.
I don't know about the queso though. I'm not a big queso guy.
He's like, let me get a large queso. Actually, I just got bought out for $40 million. Like, no,
We're not balling on a budget anymore, babe.
no, I know. Yeah, fuck that guy. Glad he's out. But like, so now Lane Kiffin is like the Florida job is open, the LSU job is open. Lane Kiffin is like apparently in talks with both like Florida and LSU to like potentially get poached from the Ole Miss job. And like Ole Miss is a great job. It's SEC, right? It's SEC country. It's good, but like they only have, they don't have unlimited resources. You go to a place like A&M, Texas, Alabama, LSU, Florida. I don't know, Florida, but like these places have unlimited resources to get recruits, to get anything.
I don't know about LSU, but
yeah. I mean, but like every kid in the state of LSU, like the brand of LSU, like every
right.
kid
I
that
mean,
grows up,
it's a big deal. It's a bigger deal than Ole Miss.
yeah. And so I think personally, I think Lane Kiffin's gonna go to Florida. Also has a ton of like blue blood school like vibes. And they have a ton of great funding too at Florida, and like geography wise, it might be a little better, right? And so going down there, but that's gonna be interesting to see what happens to Lane Kiffin here soon, or if he decides to stay at Ole Miss and like create a legacy. But
That
then
would be cool.
if he doesn't win, then what the fuck, you know?
Yeah. No,
But
yeah. So now the Aggies got a bye week, and then we play Mizzou.
that's gonna be
Mizzou and then
scary.
South
I still
Carolina.
don't have any expectations, like literally any expectations for this season.
You can't as an
Yeah,
Aggie fan, but
yeah.
I don't know. This is a different football team. It's
But
not
that's
like
what they say every
2016.
time. Like I'm honestly expecting us to miss the playoffs. Like that. Like, and I'll be. I just don't want to put any sort of faith into this team. Like I just want to watch the game, good game, man, and just like don't worry about it. Because I remember 2020 when they went crazy and they got blue balled. With Kellen Mond, they got blue balled out of the playoffs. There was COVID year also, so it's kind of a meme. But
Yeah.
next up in line, big news coming out of the white collar world. Amazon cut about 14,000 workers in their operations and white collar divisions. There's been other layoffs at Salesforce, at UPS, Chegg. All these companies are going apeshit. You know, recently they've been cutting staff. A lot of people say it's because of AI. A lot of people say it's because of the larger macroeconomic factors, right? Maybe recessionary fears, slowing sales. I don't know. It could be any of these things, but what do you think? And after this happened, actually, all these stocks jumped like 12%. Like they went nuts, and so market loves layoffs, but
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know too much about why there's layoffs just always happen. We have been seeing a lot of layoffs happen, but at the same time, it's weird because in the financial world, we have been seeing a lot of beating expectations for the most part. Earnings per share are going up for a lot of these bigger corporations, these public corporations. Um, and so I guess maybe this is a byproduct of them realizing they don't need these many people. Maybe it is AI. I can't say for certain if it is AI because we still don't have a measurable sample of what AI does and if it really does make corporations more efficient. Does I mean every single modern corporation, if you want to be in line with technology, if you want to be in line with today's market, you have to have some kind of AI integrated software, and it makes sense. There's a lot of small tasks that AI can just accomplish, but then you start hiring people that are prompt engineers, AI prompt engineers to fix those mistakes that AI makes. But definitely AI may play a part in this. Are there recessionary fears? Um, that that is uncertain. I mean, for the most part, we are seeing some stability with inflation. Unemployment isn't that bad, so I can't say for certain that we are going to go into a recession this next year. Um, but I mean, GDP growth was very timid. It was very timid, and you take out AI infrastructure
Mhm.
construction or infrastructure development, GDP growth, real GDP growth was very slow. It was very
Yeah,
minimal, and
it was
so
nothing almost. It was 0.1%, and like a lot of this GDP, quote unquote GDP, right, generated by these AI companies is like the same $1 trillion sent from OpenAI to Oracle to Nvidia to Salesforce, like back and forth. And so it's like a circular loop. You know, is there any real productivity gains, efficiency gains that are like creating meaningful value, for these customers? I mean, I don't think so. I don't know. It might be that we are in a larger, recession type environment. But what if we're in a like kind of a long term, I don't know, slowdown? Like if you look at, GDP growth indexed to gold, or GDP growth indexed to other hard assets, right? It is like flatlined or basically decreased, And so a lot of this GDP growth, people say it's basically just printed money, money left over from COVID, money left over from ZERP, when interest rates were 0%, 1%, 2%, right? And like you could basically get this free money. But now we're seeing this recession because interest rates got hiked up so high after COVID that now we're seeing this lagging effect of companies really realizing that hit to sales, that hit to growth. And so they're manifesting that, and they're saying, yeah, we're laying off people for increased efficiency through AI, blah blah. But really, they're using that to juice their numbers because they're not growing anymore, right? Like to juice their profits per share, even though they're still making a profit. Nobody's losing. Like none of these tech companies are losing money. They're literally money.
Sometimes you don't see the macroeconomic environment spill over into the financial world, and vice versa. Well, actually, I take that back. You will see. But sometimes you don't. Uh, yeah. So no, that statement does stand. Capturing GDP growth and what it really is very hard to do. Even economists to this day don't know exactly, because there's a few things. You got capital, you got labor, and of course you got the residual. You can capture very easily capital and labor, and then residual is just everything left over. Economists like to call that total factor productivity, or TFP, or just denoted as technology. And so it's anything like technology, knowledge, um, and then how much. It's just pretty much like it's efficiency in a sense. And so it's like you compare countries like Canada and the United States, who both have very similar environments, but yet United States GDP is way much the gap between
Yeah.
the steady state of the United States and Canada is so far. And all this can be attributed to total factor productivity. Even though even to this day, they have very similar total factor productivity. Knowledge is free. Everyone has knowledge. They have pretty much the same technology. Maybe they just don't utilize this as much. And so it's just very common. We'll see that in these very developed countries that GDP growth just tends to slow.
Yeah.
And it's like, where do we go from here? Well, there needs to be another threshold. We
Well,
need to
so that's
surpass
what
another.
people say, AI is, right? The new frontier for growth, right? But these places like Japan, Great Britain, South Korea, they've seen their GDPs, flatline basically. And like even Europe, to a certain extent, except for Germany, but even Germany's feeling that now, right? And um I think and you've seen the US GDP go up, but really I think this is because of monetary policy and us having a global hegemony, really. And so like
No,
everybody,
monetary policy is definitely plays a big part of growth, as
we
it
can
should.
print money and send those dollars to Germany and we'll get cars back, and we can print dollars and send it to Saudi Arabia and we'll get oil back. Like
Sure, you can. Yeah, it's easy to say we just print money, but it's a little more than that.
no, I know
It's the
there's a lot of financial mechanisms that they use in
it's
order
the
to do that.
creation of wealth. You're never gonna loan out. You're never gonna borrow more than you can consume in your lifetime, and it's just going to be like that. And so, at some point, um, today's consumption will reflect, or today's borrowing will reflect tomorrow's consumption, and vice versa. And
Hmm.
so, it's a
Well, it'll
being a
tax
debt
tomorrow's
being being
consumption.
yeah
Yeah.
being a debt based economy has gotten us this far. It has moved the world to where it is today, and so there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that. It's just, what are the implications for the debt to GDP ratio, that is. And so I think we're at like 110%, 120. Economists say that the big red flag is 200%.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, like
and I think
140 is like when like alarm bells like really need to start going.
supposedly, but then
Yeah.
then we have Japan. Japan's
Yeah.
pretty sure they've hit that ratio
Hmm.
to 200%. And what's going on with them? They seem to be fine. Um, they seem to be okay. Who
Hmm.
knows? Who knows? These are questions that only time will tell us,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
will answer.
The thing is, I mean, people say, blah, blah, okay, gold's rallying, whatever, the dollar's going to get debased, what the fuck, we can't keep printing this money. But then, you could say, okay, wait, people have been saying that for the past 40 years. What the fuck? Like, and it's done fine now. What's going to change now? But, I mean, there are some real macroeconomic like headwinds that could actually affect this. One of them being the switch from a lot of central banks are starting to allocate a lot of their treasury holdings into gold and to basically stockpiling gold. This is still a minor part of basically other countries, bank structures, because the entire world of finance runs on American treasuries, right? That's like just the denomination for global finance. And we are a powerhouse in global finance. Like, we've traded manufacturing, being a manufacturing powerhouse, for being a powerhouse in tech and finance. And a perk of that is having the global treasury system, which runs the entire world. But now banks are starting to say, okay, wait, Russia had a lot of US treasuries. And when they decided to make a choice to invade Ukraine, the US was able to freeze those treasuries, to freeze those funds of those different, uh, those Russian, citizens. And so they froze those funds, and now they're basically going to determine if they're going to be able to spend those funds on Ukrainian, rearmament and stuff. And so countries are realizing, hey, maybe it's not the best thing to be doing a lot of business in US dollars, because, what if the person running the US decides, I don't really like Angola today. Maybe let's freeze their assets. Maybe let's do something to fuck with them. So countries are starting to switch off, and then obviously the trade war. If there's a real, I mean, and there's been a bunch of memes, I'll throw 100% tariffs on China. China, 150% tariffs on China, and then the next day, she's a really good guy. He's a really good guy. Like, and so it's a meme. But if there's a real, actual, drawn out trade war between, serious countries, China, America, Europe, South America, shit like this, that could have real implications on, the macroeconomic environment here in the US, because we don't have the ability to produce any of this shit anymore. We just don't. We've traded that for finance and tech supremacy. And so, if we really hit a trade war environment, we're going to see, prices jump on like regular everyday things, 2 to 3% per year. And it's going to be a lot. But
No, yeah.
2 to 3 times, my bad. But so things might be different, but I mean, nothing ever changes, the meme. So I don't know.
Nothing happens.
Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever changes. If shit really hits the fan in China, if they go on to Taiwan, which everybody says they're going to invade by 2027, if they do stuff like that, if the U.S. dollar gets debased, if there's civil insurrections in the U.S., this will really cause issues.
If.
Yeah, if, man.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so, but it's all fun and games until it happened. I mean, nobody said Russia was nobody like thought Russia was going to invade Ukraine until they started lining up tanks on the border, and they're like,
Yep. No, good point.
okay, wait, this is actually happening now. And so, also the thing in the Middle East, what if that sparks up? I think that's like relegated though, because Israel has honestly became the Middle East hegemon. They've decapitated Iran. Iraq has been destroyed from basically the Iraq war. There's Saudi Arabia is a puppet of the U.S. There's no real hegemons left in the Middle East, and so Israel is really taken over. That's why they can do whatever the fuck they want to the Palestinians, because who else is gonna do anything about it? I mean, and the only person that can do something about it is the U.S., and that's why AIPAC spends so much money, getting politicians on their side. Because if the U.S. decided to turn off the weapon shipments, the Palestinian problem would be over tomorrow. And so,
Yeah, I mean that whole war is just insane. I mean, it's you think about it, a country with the military capacity that the Israeli state has, for some reason they have so much trouble with this guerrilla military force Hamas that is probably a tenth of the size of their military. It is extremely underdeveloped. It almost makes you think, is Hamas really real?
Yeah.
Is it there's no way it was an actual threat or ever was an actual threat, and we all know this. And it's just an excuse for them to create the greater Israel.
Hmm.
Of course, just tensions from the very beginning, and so it's a meme. It's a meme, but it's definitely um, death and destruction is sad.
Yeah.
And Israel just keeps getting away with it. Sure, whatever.
Well, I think one of the smartest things, and it's evil, right? But one of the smartest things that Israel did was develop nuclear weapons. They don't tell anybody that they have nuclear weapons, but they bought a nuclear reactor from France. They developed a nuclear weapon and they tested it off the coast of South Africa, and them in South
Yeah,
Africa
no,
developed
they
these.
do have nuclear weapons.
And so they have about, I think it's 70 nukes. And so the problem with Israel having nukes is that they're backed into a corner basically, and they're facing annihilation from every point of view. Maybe not anymore, right? Because the Middle East is basically disarmed. But if you take, for example, Russia has multiple, huge cities, a huge population, at least in the time of the Soviet Union. If you look at China, there's a lot that these countries can lose from MAD, a policy of mutually assured destruction, right? We'll destroy the entire U.S. mainland. Y'all will nuke Moscow and basically everything, and that's why people don't use nuclear weapons. But Israel is constantly in this being backed into a corner and being threatened with total annihilation, right? And so they will be much less hesitant to use a nuclear weapon. And once that happens, all bets are off. What if they say, hey, if the U.S. weapons shipments stop, our security is going to be under threat. We're gonna have to use a nuclear weapon. What happens then? Okay, do we turn off the weapon shipments? Do we watch them use a nuke? I mean, what do we do? So, and this is why the Iranians are, rightfully so, angry about this. Like, hey, why do they get to have a nuke and we can't? And that's why they've been trying to develop this nuclear weapons program, you know, so
I mean,
much.
it's just
So,
the West controls the agenda, and that's just the to the victor goes the spoils, and the good guys have won the past 10 times. The good guys always write history, and the good guys always win. And so the West, at the end of the day, is going to write the agenda, and when the entire world, like you said, the financial market is backed by the U.S.
mhm. Yeah.
It's like what can you really do? There's only a few countries that oppose the United States, very so publicly. And that's been Russia, that's been North Korea, that's been Iran, China here and there, but it's just you don't get a lot of pushback a lot most of the time.
No, no. I mean, I think
It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out when you're constantly at odds with the United States in recent history, and it's just worked out for us to have a more globalized economy. And now it's like you said, maybe these countries realize maybe we shouldn't have so many U.S. Treasury holdings,
mhm,
because in situations where we want to do something like invade Ukraine,
mhm,
we cannot allocate those funds accordingly because they've been frozen.
mhm.
And so, but sure, that's just one of the hiccups that you'll have to go through. And that's just quite literally the state of our world as it is.
Yeah. And that's
And
why
so
you see gold rallying.
where does it go from here? I mean, gold, whatever.
Yeah.
Gold's just gold. It's just an asset that grows in value. It's a precious metal. Um, it's just gold's not even. Is it an investment? Potentially, calling it an investment is weird.
I don't think it's
Uh,
not an investment, but
I
it
don't I
is
don't
a
yeah I don't look at it as an investment at all.
It's a store
Um,
of value, basically. Yeah.
it is a store of value, but it's not
Historically, because of
divisible.
historical precedent, but it really doesn't
Right,
have any
right.
like. I mean, yeah, it can be used in electronics manufacturing or like these random industrial processes, but like for the most part, it's just a metal that everybody on the earth has decided, hey, this is going to be our rare metal that like we all
Yeah.
worship, and that's going to be it. But like that was the U.S. Treasury, though, and everybody said, hey, we're gonna use all of our banks are gonna run on U.S. Treasuries, and that's gonna be the bedrock. And then now it's like it's switching up, and so
Yep. No.
what happens then? I mean, the majority of banks still run on Treasuries. That has not changed, but it's just been a little bump up.
Sure. Yeah.
But no, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully, the market gets a little bit better. A bunch of our buddies are laid off, so I don't know. He graduated and they're either laid off or they haven't gotten a job. So
Who got laid off?
this girl, I don't want to say her name, but like she dated one of the guys in that org that I'm in, that I was
Ah,
in school.
yeah.
And yeah, no, I saw her post something on LinkedIn like, yeah, there's been a little restructuring, blah blah this and that, right? And it's like I'll see that on LinkedIn every now and then from some guy I'm a connection with. I'm like, why would you even post this? What the fuck? Like, what are we?
I don't. I don't. I don't know. LinkedIn is a weird
It's a
place, and
shithole. It's a fucking
I
cesspool. Fuck
I
that
love. I mean,
place.
sometimes I love going on there and looking at it, but it's just like, let me pull it up right now. It's just I've seen some things in the past week or so from
Yeah,
people I know, and
I
I'm
mean,
just
it's
like,
like, what the fuck? Like,
yes, that's so cool that you completed this class.
I know, like,
I mean, very awesome. Good for you. Last week, I had the distinct pleasure of attending APA Texas for the first time. I would
bro,
like to
please do
see
not
very
read
much.
LinkedIn posts. Please don't. Please, God, no. Please, please, fucking.
Proud to attend the Bryan College Station Chamber of Commerce Community Outreach, and it's just a picture of him, man. I mean, sure, put yourself out there. That's great. It's a good way to kind of extend your portfolio. I'm all for it. I'm
It's
definitely
good.
all
It's
for
good
it.
to have. It's good to be like major milestones. Like actual job changes. Like if you graduate or get a new
Sure. No,
degree. Like,
it's definitely something that employers look at. That's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I
And
mean,
but
yeah,
it's just like
it's
I don't know.
insufferable.
I am not into the LinkedIn speak. That's just not me. But I need to definitely get into it at some point. I will more than likely just speak to you in corporate speak when I'm speaking directly to a potential employer.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
Well,
So
when it comes to potential employers, we have another big macroeconomic issue. We have the government shutdown is still happening, and the latest casualty of the government shutdown is SNAP benefits.
SNAP
So
benefits.
yeah, people
Yeah, no
said
SNAP.
that they're going to be able to find the funding from somewhere else, just like they did with the military. The military, they were able to extend paychecks by finding the money somewhere else and redistributing. But the Federal Food and Drug Administration decided for SNAP, we're not going to do that. So SNAP benefits are officially going to be shut down. I think it's on the 15th of November. And so that might be exciting. It might be time to short grocery store stocks. I don't know. Maybe it's already priced in.
I don't think it's priced in just yet, but I mean SNAP. What I've actually done a lot of work on SNAP. Just coincidentally, I've written papers on it. I've done economic analysis on SNAP. I mean, it works as a subsidy for farmers. It drives prices up. There's studies here back and forth, like the recipients of SNAP or those who are the eligible participants of SNAP. They use it to kind of get away from food scarcity so they can elevate themselves from that poverty level, because I mean food's expensive and food's a necessity. It's the one thing that you're going to be worrying about the most. And there's studies on, well, if I'm not so stressed about buying food, I can be more so in tune with looking into the job market, focusing on my job, et
Mm-hmm.
cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another point being, like, well, SNAP on one hand raises prices, and I think it's not of large magnitude the way that it impacts prices. It's like maybe around 1 or 2% that it increases prices. I mean, and that's just because it gives, there's an upward demand,
Mm-hmm.
um, upward demand pressure, and because it raises prices by that marginal amount, SNAP recipients are kind of just paying the same amount they would be, or they,
If
I'm
Snap
sorry,
didn't
they,
exist. Yeah.
right, if SNAP didn't exist, they're just kind of paying the same
Yeah.
they would be without SNAP. And so does it have an actual impact? Does it have real results? I don't know. I haven't looked into that much of it, but I know where it comes from, and that's most of the time when they're drawing up the farm bill. The farm bill is one of the
Mm-hmm.
biggest pieces of legislation that we have, and it's like one of those supplemental funding programs where they have to allocate funding last minute, and this is where they really do debating in the subcommittees of where this extra money goes to. And most of the time, it's been SNAP. I mean, the funding for SNAP has ramped up quite a bit from, 40 million to like 79 million
Yeah.
every year. They're asking for more money for SNAP and WIC, a lot of food assistance stuff. And so, I mean, we're potentially going to see it shut down. I mean, I was listening to NPR today, and they were saying that it's not legal that it shuts down,
Yeah.
but and I don't know the legality of that, but for the most part, I mean,
But has this administration listened to any court ruling? Like, yet,
that's also true. No, that's
like
also true. But I mean, do
there's a
do we
lot of
need
ICE, rulings that have gotten, put aside. A lot of the Doge cuts, they got court rulings against them, and they went ahead and went nuts. And so, like, this administration they just don't really give a fuck about the courts, which is kind of based, but it's like also, man, we have the courts for a reason. Um, I think it's great, especially when you have a majority, Republican court. They should be siding with you. But no, yeah, it is real. It is tough, that SNAP is getting cut. And the thing is, we we like to believe, we have this fantasy in our heads that we live in this, capitalist system, right? That we live in this full, laissez-faire. I pull myself up by my bootstraps and blah blah and this and that. And the farmer is the pinnacle of that, right? Get out there in the morning, I get in my combine that I like repaired myself, and I go in, and farm
the
my
farmer
crops.
can't live without the government?
But they receive the largest percentage of their income from government subsidies. A lot of the farms, that operate right now currently don't exist economically, right? They're not economically viable, but they get government subsidies
There's
directly.
there's so many different assistance, income assistance, revenue
Yeah.
assistance, price assistant
And Snap
programs.
does that indirectly, right? Because
Well, Snap does that indirectly. It
yeah,
works as a
because it
subsidy,
allows these people to purchase bread, to
but
purchase,
it's not very.
rice.
It's not even a very efficient subsidy, and it has a very marginal impact. I think what for every dollar spent of SNAP benefits, 1 cent goes to the farmer. That's that's a recent study that I read. I don't know if it's 1 cent but it's very low. It's just not. It's not an efficient subsidy
Yeah.
for farmers to even begin with. There are so many more, and
But like our
there's been
system has
so
gotten so used to it now that like if it's just taken away, how would that affect the market? I don't know, but and it's not a bad thing either. Like I think maybe there can be some governmental I guess changes where it becomes more efficient, so people like aren't selling them to fucking get cash to go buy shit. I
right,
know that
right,
happens,
yeah.
and so like maybe we need more enforcement on that. But like overall it's good. People need that. But like this argument where we want total laissez-faire capitalism. If you want total laissez-faire capitalism, go live in India or go live in Brazil, right? They don't have SNAP in Brazil. But the farmers aren't subsidized, right? If the farmers get fucked, they get fucked, right?
No,
In
no,
in their
the
land.
farmers are subsidized in Brazil.
I mean, yeah, probably, yeah, yeah. But like, we have the most like robust system for distributing those subsidies, and for filing for tax breaks and bankruptcies. Chapter 12 bankruptcies gives farmers more leeway, so they don't end up losing their land, they don't end up losing their equipment. So we have all these protections in place, right? Do you want to fully dismantle that to live in like a anarcho-capitalist state? I don't know.
I don't think SNAP benefits killing that will have a very big impact on farmers, because there's just it's not
On
it
food
to begin with.
scarcity
It's
or
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
well, to begin with, it's not even, like I said, a very efficient income support program for farmers. There's way more out there. Um, so many. I think I don't know if these are still in effect. ARC and PLC. One's a revenue protection, one's a price protection, and it's like pretty much when farm revenue reaches a certain point, you get payments from the government, or if price of a certain commodity falls
Yeah.
below,
Yeah.
you get payments. And
Mhm.
so, I mean, that's usually how it works. Um, but
It's
yeah,
gonna
man.
be kind of scary, and a lot of I mean, not really scary, to be honest. I think people will eat it, but like, man, at a certain point, we're gonna have to make this hard decisions about a lot of these government programs, because we're funding this on borrowed money. We're running a deficit. We're running the largest deficit since World War II. So either the facts of the case are, you either tax people more, right, to make up for that difference, or you cut, enough so where you don't have a deficit, right? Or you could do something in the middle. They're both sliding scales. And so, you have to make hard decisions about that. And you know,
Yeah,
what are we gonna decide? I don't know.
I'm
We can't keep
not
running these
sure.
fucking deficits. But
Yeah.
it's spooky season, man. It's Halloween. It's time to get lit. It's time to get crunk. It's time to get crazy. How do you feel about cuffing season lately?
Um, I mean, like it's definitely that time of the season, as people would say. It's just the fall. Everything's real pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then come winter, it's like it gets all cold and chilly, and you want someone there with you to just kind of sip on a glass of wine, maybe eat some charcuterie with. I don't know.
Mm.
I haven't really been cuffed during cuffing season for the past 2 years, so it's just like that. And I mean, spooky season, whatever, cuffing season dynamics.
What are you aura farming right now? I haven't been. No, I haven't been into cuffing season for a while now.
I mean, it would be nice to have. It's just it's not at the forefront of my mind, I guess. I don't know. It's weird, man. It's weird.
I love
Relation-
this season. Like, it is so. I mean, like you said, you could just like chillax. You don't have to go outside and like damn near naked because it's so hot.
I know it was very. It turned out to be a beautiful day today.
Hoodie
My
season.
I mean, my first thought was, realistically, my first thought when I saw how beautiful it was outside today, I'm like, well, I want to walk around with the hypothetical love of my life and just talk to her. It's just that's the kind of feeling that's in the air with this change of season,
You
at
need a
least to me.
mommy. You need a good
That that would be awesome, man. That'd be great.
dude. I just man, I can't do the long distance. I don't know. It's just the
Yeah,
long
no, that's tricky.
distance. You can't have any of those walks. You can't have any of those
No,
ramen nights. You can't
nope.
have, hey, let's go get a hot ramen, and let's wear sweaters, and let's go hold hands and walk after when our bellies are real full. Like, that's just not a possibility. I don't know. I mean, I love cuffing season though. This is when this is when I met all my tings, right? Not all my tings, but the two major tings. Like, I've met both of them in this
I
time.
usually
So
meet everyone during the spring.
that's the worst time. Going right
Yeah, I
into
know.
summer.
Going right in the summer, literally.
Fuck, that's major sell. Maybe that's why there hasn't been a lot of success.
No, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. This weekend, go out for Halloween.
Yeah.
I should have a new costume in. soon. So
Hopefully, yeah.
supposed to be here by today. I'm fucking angry. Amazon, get your automation up. Did the layoffs affect this? I mean, what the
Maybe.
fuck?
I was supposed to. Yeah, I was excited to see the astronaut.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be an astronaut, but Amazon decides to take an extra day to deliver something. Is
Fuck,
that
man.
because of the layoffs?
It might be.
Did
They
someone
just
use
could.
AI to?
Someone. Yeah, I know. Get this shit running right.
Yeah, it
But
pissed me
yeah,
off. But it'll be fun this weekend. We'll definitely see some familiar faces out there tonight.
familiar faces. A lot of lingerie. Just any excuse for you to be an absolute whore and degenerate.
Yeah.
That's Halloween.
Did you see that tweet I sent? Like some
We have the same feed.
yeah, some long distance girl is
I'm
gonna
so excited to go to a frat party in
like
lingerie. I
God,
scrolled on
man.
Twitter with like I'm at school and I have 8% battery left and it's like I think it's like 11:30. I'm at school till 4 o'clock. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna use the last percentage of my battery to scroll Twitter. And I saw some crazy stuff on here. I just need to get off of it sometimes
My feed has
because
been all like, those alt accounts that are like Joe the Third, like Reginald.
I have been
Like,
on those. No, I have been on those for like ever. I have been on those for a minute before they started blowing up. I was there. I'm just letting everyone know.
Cap, shut the fuck up.
No, I was there, literally.
Dude, those are God, man, I love
The
those.
burner accounts are
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, the burners, and they're like a picture of like the like the regents, one of the like school regents, and it's like like Joe
Yeah,
Reginald the
yeah.
Fourth. Like I DM'd three baddies on Grinder and on a not Grinder on
I said
on
no. One of
fucking
them was like I
Hinge.
said I love you to 3 girls on Hinge today or something.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Or
other one
like,
was like there was it was a retweet of there was a quote from someone like, well, we have middle school burners now, and because the burner account
oh yeah, yeah, I
was
saw
a
that one.
picture of long division.
Yeah, I saw that. There's like another one with like absolute like I don't know some DGs, and he's like, "Oh, give me the mommy on the left." Or like hashtag link, like
Hashtag expand.
yeah, expand or log. What is the log like? The log emoji? Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've been going nuts on those, but Twitter's cool. I'm excited to be doing the podcast again. The podcast is, it's key.
yeah, it's great. It's just figuring out a time of day that works for both of us.
Tuesdays has been good.
Tuesdays are my busiest days.
But it's good to like knock it out on a Tuesday though, like
It feels good. It's just I mean part of this me it being so busy is me procrastinating, but I've definitely gotten better at that. So I mean
no,
with
dude.
that, I guess we should probably close this out, huh?
Yeah, take it easy, guys. This is Crybaby Podcast episode 3. We'll see y'all next Thursday, and y'all enjoy the Halloween, guys.
Yeah.
Get a little
Good luck,
spooky.
guys.
Don't
Be
get
great out
killed.
there.
Yes,
Be
sir.
awesome. Be happy.
Be elite.
Be elite.